When people mention the word karma, they often think of suffering, unfairness, and storms that strike without warning. In common understanding, karma is tied to resentment, retribution, and harsh repayments from which no one can escape. But karma does not only have a dark side. In Buddhist teaching, karma is neutral. It is simply action, bodily action, verbal action, and mental action, created by a person in each moment of living. Every action, whether wholesome or unwholesome, leaves an imprint, a vibration, a current of cause and effect that quietly flows through time. If unwholesome karma is a headwind that makes us stagger, wholesome karma is a cool stream that waters the heart in dry days. If bad karma is the bitter fruit of unwholesome seeds, good karma is the sweet harvest formed from kindness, patience, and deeds done when no one was watching. Some people seem unusually fortunate as they walk through life. Everything goes smoothly. They meet the right people, arrive at the right place, speak at the right time, and whatever they do draws support. Life is not without storms yet. They are not swept away. They do not complain. Do not stay sad for long. Do not blame life. The farther they go, the more serene they become. This is not fate. It is the ripening of wholesome karma. There are blessings that do not arrive with dazzling fireworks or halos. They come softly like a morning breeze, quietly like moonlight, slipping into a room at midnight, gently like the touch of a loved one without words, without conditions yet warming the heart. Good karma does not announce itself. It simply appears light and sure in the small things we begin to notice. The mind grows calmer, the body healthier, loved ones, more harmonious life, less obstructed. Everything seems to fall into place without your having to strain. If you are living in such a season, do not think it is random luck. Know that you are reaping part of the sweet fruit from wholesome seeds planted in this life or long ago. Below are 8 very specific signs, gentle yet profound, showing that good karma is protecting you, supporting you, and opening the way. Each sign is a small door letting you glimpse the invisible light now present in your life. Sign 1. Your mind is increasingly peaceful. Although the outer world is still turbulent, life is an unending chain of changes, work issues followed by family matters. One person after another, trying your patience. If you notice that your mind is less and less shaken amid storms that seem to have no end, this is the first and very precious sign that wholesome karma in you is beginning to blossom. No one can stop the storms outside, but you have begun to keep your heart still within them. You no longer flare up over small things. You are not easily hurt by careless words. You do not react at once when misunderstood. You do not feel the need to win every conversation. This is not weakness. You are growing stronger in a soft and steady way. You can sit alone without feeling lonely. You can listen to someone vent without rushing to refute. You can see another's fault without giving rise to scorn. You begin to pause, breathe deeply, close your eyes and smile, even when someone crosses your wishes. In that moment, your inner life becomes like the surface of a lake, no waves, reflecting everything as it is, adding nothing, subtracting nothing, without judgment and without denial. That lake is the invisible blessing you are inheriting. From the times you forgave, endured, let go, practiced compassion, kept precepts, and did good, a person with deep wholesome karma does not need to flee life to find peace. They can live in the marketplace and still keep a mind like a meditation hall. They neither reject life nor fear it. They move through life like one walking in a meditation forest, mindful in each step, at ease in each minute, grateful in each breath. If you find your heart calmer, your response is gentler, and you are no longer easily pulled into the gossip outside, know that you are being wrapped by a very quiet field of good karma. You need do nothing more to keep it other than continue to live mindfully, continue to sow goodness, and continue to guard awareness each day. When the mind is calm, the world is calm. A stable inner life is the most solid fortress of blessing that no storm can break. Sign 2. You often meet timely good fortune. There are times when it seems there is no way out. Work is blocked, finances are drained, faith runs low, health declines. Every door appears closed. You stand at a crossroads, empty-handed, anxious, your mind clouded. Then strangely, at just that moment, a friend appears, an unexpected opportunity arrives, or a message from nowhere opens a door you had never imagined. Sometimes it is only a small piece of advice, or a light word of encouragement, yet it is like a spring that saves a heartland in drought. If you have gone through such things, not just once, but again and again, like a chain of wondrous conditions, do not see them as random. Understand that wholesome karma is quietly bearing fruit. Good luck is not heaven's favoritism. In the light of the Dharma, it is the ripe fruit of some wholesome seed you once planted, perhaps in this life, perhaps long ago. Maybe you once helped a stranger on the road. Maybe you forgave someone who hurt you deeply. Maybe you endured accepted loss, lived kindly, and helped others without anyone knowing and without seeking repayment. The universe never forgets such seemingly small things. The field of cause and effect does not fade away. It simply waits for the right time to return, in ways no one can predict, yet always on time. In the Anguttara Nikaya, the Buddha teaches that no wholesome act is ever in vain. It is like a good seed falling into good soil. Sooner or later it sprouts and flowers. When people with wholesome karma fall into adversity, they are seldom driven to a dead end. It is as if there is always a way out, a light in the distance, an invisible hand beckoning. Each time this happens, their faith grows and their gratitude deepens. Recall you once sat an exam and the questions matched exactly what you knew. You once went for a checkup and caught a dangerous illness early. You once escaped a major risk by a hair's breadth. You once received an invitation right when you were about to collapse from unemployment. You once lost your way, but met someone who showed you the correct direction. None of these were coincidences. They were the convergence of blessings and merit at the very moment of need. Blessing is not something that suddenly falls from the sky. Blessing is the accumulated result of each action, each thought, each time you lived kindly with others, with life, and with yourself. One who lives with a good heart will find rescuers even in dangerous places. One who has opened their heart to others will, when needed, find others opening their hearts to them. One who once sheltered others in hardship will, when suffering, have someone step forward to shoulder part of their burden. And the wonderful thing is, you don't need to remember what you did. Just keep living rightly, keep walking the path of goodness, and opportunities will arrive at the right time through the right people in the right way. That is the nature of blessed merit. It is not loud or showy, but when you need it most, it appears like a quiet step beneath your feet, like the sky opening after a great storm, like a branch gently lowering itself for you to hold as you move forward. If you notice timely good fortune appearing in your life, please be grateful. Not because you are better than others, but because you once quietly did the right thing, and now that very rightness has come back to keep you from falling. Sign 3 people around you, cherish you, and often take the initiative to help you. In a society where hearts are increasingly closed, where suspicion and guardedness grow, it is not a given to be regularly cared for, supported, and proactively helped by others. This is not because you are smooth-tongued or skilled at currying favor. It is the result of a wholesome energy radiating from you, an energy accumulated through years of living with sincerity, without scheming or self-interest. There are people who, wherever they go, are loved. Whatever they do, they receive support. Their words are easily heard, their opinions readily respected. When misfortune strikes, someone steps up to defend them. When they do good, someone quietly backs them from behind. It is as if they carry a magnetic field that naturally draws goodwill, making those who meet them feel light, trusting, and inclined to come close. If you are such a person, or are becoming one, that is a clear sign. Wholesome karma is blossoming in your relationships. You have sincerely praised others without envy, shared work without fearing you'd lose your share, listened to someone pour out their heart without feeling bothered, lifted others up without expecting their gratitude, yielded opportunities without regret, done the right thing without needing to be seen. These small acts are like drops of goodness falling into the ocean of cause and effect. Gradually they create an attraction, a field of blessed magnetism, an energy that makes others feel safe around you, lighter, when speaking with you and eager to help you, though they themselves may not know why. In the Sutta Nikaya, the Buddha taught that one who lives without anger rejoices in the happiness of others, and keeps a gentle, loving heart shines like light wherever they go. Such a person naturally finds good spiritual friends, guiding mentors, and genuine affection without having to beg for it. Those with wholesome karma do not connect through calculation, but through the integrity of their inner kindness. Others sense it without a word. Notice this when you are caught off guard. Someone shows up right on time. When you need support, you need not plead, and yet help is offered. When you begin something new, like-minded companions appear. When disaster strikes, there is someone quietly holding you up from behind. This is not mere luck, it is the blessing born from the times you were a refuge for others. Such blessing may not be visible to the eye, but it can be felt by the heart. One with kindness often has a bright countenance. One with a peaceful mind carries a soothing presence. One who lives with affection has gentle eyes. These very qualities draw help from life, not by pressure, but by transformation. And the most beautiful part is that the help you receive comes not from one person but from many, not once but many times. Not because you begged, but because the wholesome karma you sowed has ripened and found its way back in the form of other people. If you find many kind people around you, many hearts ready to help, quietly give thanks. Not only to those who helped, but also to yourself, the one who once sowed goodness without seeking repayment. Keep living that way. Those who live by heart are repaid by life with affection. Such affection needs no binding and no title. As long as you keep a good heart, the world will not abandon you. Sign 4. Your body is seldom ill, even without elaborate care. In an age when people increasingly rely on supplements, complex diets, and strict exercise regimens, a body that is healthy, seldom sick, quick to recover, that sleeps well and eats with a sense of enough, has become a kind of luxury. Not everyone possesses. Therefore, if you live simply, eat unpretentiously, keep regular habits, and your body remains supple and rarely falls ill. This is not merely good constitution. It is deep blessing from wholesome karma. You have quietly planted for all beings, for the environment, and especially for your own body-mind. According to the Buddha's teaching, the scriptures describe 3 principal causes for being born with a healthy body: few illnesses and long life, not killing, not harming, not causing pain to living beings, keeping moral precepts, living gently, and not nursing hatred in the heart, cultivating kindness, often releasing life, protecting living beings, practicing patience and forgiveness. These are not only virtues on the path, they are also an invisible tonic that nourishes each cell, each breath, each vessel in this body. Those who live kindly and compassionately, with little anger and little inner torment, do not burden their livers with toxicity. Those who know sufficiency and can let go without excessive craving or worry do not overstrain the heart, and their stomach does not spasm abnormally. Those who sleep early, rise early, and keep a peaceful mind enjoy balanced circulation, a bright face, and a gentle expression. It is no accident that some people hear from their doctors that their bodies are younger than their actual age. It is no accident that some have little pain or fatigue, digest well, and feel refreshed even with only a few hours of sleep. That is the energy of wholesome karma enfolding their whole being. Look back and ask, do you often kill? Have you ever saved a living creature? Have you nurtured kindness by eating vegetarian? At times doing good, keeping precepts, releasing animals, loving animals, protecting trees, living in harmony with nature? If so, then today's good health is the universe's quiet yet most accurate reply. It is not because you ran diligently or took many supplements, but because you have lived without harming other life. Thus, the life within you is nourished by kindness, by virtue, by the wholesome conditions you yourself created. The body is the fruit. Actions are the causes. A gentle mind yields a healthy body. An angry mind makes the body ill. A contented mind keeps the vital energies in harmony. A loving, kind mind allows the cells themselves to heal. A person endowed with blessed, wholesome karma in the body tends to suffer few minor ailments, recover quickly, When ill, meet the right physician, the right medicine, at the right time. Avoid unfortunate accidents, possess strong natural immunity, and above all, remain at ease without needing to worry excessively about the body. Such a body is not produced by the gym, nor does it come from drugs. It comes from a mind that knows how to live in harmony, to live gently, to live kindly with other living beings. If you are graced with such a body, do not be complacent. Cherish it, be grateful, and preserve it by continuing to live virtuously. Keep the precepts, cultivate compassion, and refrain from killing. This is the surest long path not only to a healthy body today, but to sowing further wholesome karma for future lives, where you will again be reborn in a human body seldom ill, with dignified features and abundant merit. Sign 5. You easily feel gratitude and often wish to give. Some people live amid abundance, yet feel a lack within. Some receive many good things from life, but quickly forget, are hard to please, and seldom bow their heads in thanks. Others constantly complain that no one helps them or that they never meet good conditions, even while they are actually surrounded by wonders they fail to recognize. If, however, you begin to feel yourself fortunate, even though life is not lavish, if you often shed tears when hearing a moving story, if you feel grateful for very small things like a peaceful morning, a simple, sufficient meal, a person who is still by your side, or even a sudden shower that cools your heart, then this is a beautiful sign that wholesome karma in you is blossoming in the deep layers of consciousness. A grateful person is not one who has much, but one who feels enough with what they have. Those who easily give do not do so because they are overflowing with wealth, but because they have tasted lack, and therefore feel compassion for those who lack more. Look back at yourself. Lately, does your heart grow soft for no clear reason? Do you feel easily moved by the hardships of others? Do you feel an urge to share and help someone, even when you are not entirely well off? Do you often quietly bless others without envy? Have you ever felt compelled to do something good, not because anyone would know, but because your heart could not rest? Whether the answer is no or yes, please understand that this is the deeper stratum of blessed karma, ripening into the energy of compassion, into the seed of gratitude, into the arms that know how to open wide and give. In the Dhammapada, the Buddha said, "One who is grateful is close to the noble ones." Gratitude does not only reconnect good causes and conditions in this life, it is also a cause for rebirth in fortunate realms in future lives. Gratitude is a kind of wisdom, an inner light that illumines what one already has, a reverent heart toward all who have crossed one's path. A quiet vow within, I must live more kindly to be worthy of what I am receiving. From that gratitude arises the wish to give. One who is enjoying wholesome karma does not wait to be rich before practicing charity. They give from the heart, not merely from the wallet. They share their presence, not only material things. They offer a blessing, a benevolent look, a timely handclasp. All these in the invisible world are seeds of merit being planted. Gratitude is seeing that every person we meet is a condition. Every difficulty endured is a lesson. Every old wound is a bright mirror. Every day we are alive is a gift from the universe. Giving is how we answer the universe, how we extend good causes and conditions, how we keep the flow of blessings from getting dammed up within ourselves. If you are living in a season when your heart often softens, your eyes easily moisten, and your mind often feels appreciative, then do not doubt it, blessings are blooming within. They have no form or color yet. They are the quiet light rising from the lives in which you have known how to love others. A blessed person is not one who has much, but one who is grateful for what they have. One with wholesome karma is not one who has no more desires, but one who sees that everything they have is already a miracle. Sign 6. When trouble strikes, you still keep faith, and an unexpected way out appears. When life is smooth, people may chant the Buddha's name aloud, speak generous words, and their hearts shine like celestial lamps. Yet a sudden wave arrives, a loss of money, loved one's work or reputation, and at once they decline, sigh, blame heaven and others, and lose faith in cause and effect. There are others who do not speak much doctrine or boast of spiritual practice, yet when upheaval comes, they can keep a measure of stillness within the storm. They do not blame heaven, do not rage at others, and do not reproach themselves excessively. They simply ask quietly, what lesson does this come to teach me? If you find yourself changing from someone anxious into someone who can face things calmly, from someone reactive into someone who knows to sit and breathe, from someone who panics into someone who slows down to observe, this is a deep sign of a kind of wholesome karma working quietly within you. A blessed person, when falling into suffering, is not crushed beyond repair. They may tire, they may weep, they may be short of breath, but they do not break. Inside them is something strange and steady, like a spiritual lifebuoy that lifts them each time they seem about to sink. That lifebuoy is not thrown from outside. It is woven by their own hands through years of living virtuously, keeping precepts, reciting the Buddha's name, practicing compassion and patience. These accumulations are like the Bodhi tree's roots sinking deep into the earth. When the storm rises, their value appears. They do not sway, they do not uproot. Ask yourself recently, when difficulties came, were you calmer? Did you pause to look for the lesson instead of panicking? Did you notice that after each dead end, a new door opened? Have you ever met someone, heard a word, or encountered a relationship that arrived just in time when you had nearly despaired? If so, you are living within a field of blessing. Blessing does not keep you from all suffering. It keeps you from shattering when suffering comes. Some doors open only when you are calm. Some people appear only when you stop resisting fate. Some paths reveal themselves only when you cease struggling and learn to sit still. Those with wholesome karma, when faced with hardship, usually keep mindfulness, avoid impulsive actions, find solutions from within awareness, meet a guide or receive support at the right time, are not scattered by outside gossip, and do not easily fall into despair or depression. They understand that suffering is not a dead end, but a turning point. Unwholesome karma may still remain, yet wholesome karma is simultaneously supporting them. Walk with mindful steps, and even suffering becomes a bright path. You know what some call luck is. In truth, the reward of old wholesome karma. What some call a miraculous escape is in truth a portion of merit ripening right on time. In this life, the one who can keep faith in the good while everything is going badly is the one being protected by blessing. A mind endowed with wholesome karma protects and shields. If you are keeping such faith, please do not let it go. And if there are moments when you feel you will collapse, remember that wholesome karma still abides within you, waiting for you to rekindle it. Sign 7: children and family, those close to you, change for the better, even though you do not try to control them. In a family, it is not that if one person practices, the whole household becomes bright. Not that if one person is virtuous, the whole household becomes peaceful. Sometimes a person cultivates, and those beside them become more difficult. Sometimes a person cultivates, and spouse and children bring even more turmoil. This is because karma is not only individual. Karma has streams and networks and fields. There is a continuity of connections among those who share bloodlines and who live under the same roof. However, if you suddenly realize that recently, without your scolding and without your intervention, your children have begun to be more considerate, quieter, more responsible, relatives who used to quarrel now know how to yield and listen. A family once full of tension is unexpectedly calmer, warmer, more harmonious. This is not happening by chance. It is the energy of transformation from your own wholesome mind, spreading like an underground current, soaking into those closest to you. The ancients said, when a family has one who keeps the path, 3 generations are blessed. When one person cultivates, the whole household benefits. It is not because the practitioner begs that the whole family be at peace, but because the practitioner's mind is a source of light. When that light is strong enough, it dissolves the surrounding darkness. You do not need to preach doctrine every day or lecture your family about the Dharma. You only need to keep a gentle heart, refrain from harmful speech, and maintain a reverent mind, and transformation will occur naturally. The family is the largest mirror, reflecting the level of one's practice. When you still flare up easily, those beside you will easily react. When you still want to control, others will still resist. But when you know how to let go, to listen, to live by the inner light, others will sense it without your saying a word. Look back and see. Once your children were indifferent, are they now beginning to ask after you and show care? Once your relatives were hot-tempered, are they now gentler, less curt in speech? Once your household was often in upheaval, it now seemed like calm seas and clear skies. Are you no longer needing to intervene? And yet everyone is quietly adjusting for the better. If so, understand that you are living in a current of wholesome karma that not only protects you but is flowing out across your lineage. In some cases, a mother who practices, recites the Buddha's name, and dedicates merit shelters her children, even when they are far away. A father who eats vegetarian at times, lives by precepts and does good works, leaves lingering blessings for grandchildren and future generations. Wholesome energy needs no distance to transmit. A single pure mind can resolve a whole lineage burdened with grievances. A patient heart can soften the hardest heart in the home. Those with deep wholesome karma often see these signs in the family. Children become more compliant, even without much instruction. Relatives change, even though they were never admonished. The atmosphere in the home softens, and people naturally yield to one another. Those who once quarreled with you begin to avoid conflict or treat you more gently. The longer you live together, the more you understand each other, not the more you grow weary. These are the blessings you are sowing through your own self-cultivation. Remember, no sermon is as powerful as the energy of one who truly lives rightly. You do not need to force anyone to change. You only need to live virtuously and let that virtue spread like a flower's fragrance. Those beside you will naturally feel it. Sign 8. You feel life growing more meaningful even without craving many things. There is a kind of peace that does not come from perfection. There is a kind of happiness that does not come from achieving anything grand. It comes from an inner sense of enough, from gratitude, and from a deep gaze into the most ordinary moments. If you begin to feel that nothing special is needed, that simply to breathe, to live, to see loved ones in health, to drink a cup of tea in stillness is enough for a happy day, then congratulations, you have entered the deepest region of note. Wholesome karma, where mind and blessing intersect like an underground stream, quietly watering your life. You no longer compete with the world, no longer feel impatient about your path, no longer feel you must surpass someone to have worth. You do not stay sad long over small things. You do not grow overly angry with anyone. You do not crave anything beyond measure. You see meaning in everything happening. Whether good or bad, you no longer divide life into stark black and white. You look at it as a polyphonic symphony in which even the low notes have their place. You may not have more money than before, but your heart is richer. You may not be more famous, but your inner strength is greater. You may have no one to applaud you yet. You can smile at yourself in the mirror because you are no longer ashamed before your own heart. In the Dhammapada, the Buddha taught, one who knows contentment is the richest. One who no longer craves excessively is the most free. One who can lay down the burden of desire is the lightest being in the world. Those enjoying deep, wholesome karma speak less of goals and more of sufficiency, care less about achievements and more about cherishing what is, place fewer expectations on the future, and feel more gratitude for the present moment. Contend less and forgive more. Seek fewer novelties and dwell more peacefully in simple things. Most especially, you feel that simply being here in this world is meaningful. Though adversity remains, though some matters are unresolved, though you are still on the path of practice, you are no longer disheartened, no longer tempted to run away, no longer exhausted by a nameless reason. You see each person as a role, each event as an opportunity. You do not ask, "Why must I endure this?" but whisper, "What shall I learn from this?" Then life need not change for you to be happy, because you yourself have changed so that you can be happy with life exactly as it is. If you are living in such a state, do not take it lightly. It is the crystallization of countless wholesome seeds you once quietly sowed. Each good deed, each act of patience, each day of keeping precepts, each time you let go of what was unnecessary. You are living in a season of blossoms, not dazzling, not noisy, yet fragrant enough to lighten the heart, deep enough to steady it, warm enough that it stops seeking anything outside. No one will knock on your door to announce that your wholesome karma has arrived. There will be no ringing bell, no blazing light as proof. Blessings do not flaunt themselves. Wholesome karma does not make a racket. It is simply present, like a cool breeze slipping into the chest, like the soft light at day's end, like a delicate fragrance from nowhere that quiets the heart. The 8 signs we have walked through together in this Dharma talk are not supernatural phenomena and not random rewards. They are the ripened fruits of a chain of wholesome causes you once planted, whether in this life or long ago in the cycle of rebirth. Let us look back once more. Your mind is increasingly at peace, although the outer world still brings many trials. You often meet timely good fortune as if someone were quietly supporting you. People around you cherish you and help you not because you begged, but because you once gave. Your body is seldom ill and seldom weary, as if protected by an invisible wholesome force. You easily feel gratitude and wish to give, not because you have excess, but because your heart is already full. When hardship comes, you keep your faith, and a way out arrives at the right moment. Your loved ones gradually change for the better, even though you never forced anyone. You find life genuinely meaningful, although you no longer crave anything more. If you have 1, 2, or many of these signs, please bow your head and join your palms in deep gratitude. Give thanks not only to the Buddhas, the Bodhisattvas, the ancestors, heaven and earth, but also to yourself, the one who once lived kindly and rightly kept the precepts recited, the Buddha's name forgave, endured, and quietly planted good deeds that are now becoming sweet fruit. And if today you do not yet see these signs clearly, do not be sad. Every wholesome seed needs time to sprout. As long as you continue to live rightly, live deeply, and live awake, the wholesome karma will blossom sooner or later. Sometimes the flowers bloom in your own heart, sometimes in your loved ones, sometimes in a future life. But they will surely bloom. We cannot control what we sowed in the past, but we can choose what to sow from today. Every gentle word, every kind deed, every time you refrain from anger when you could have flared up, every time you feel enough when you could have grasped for more, every time you keep silence when you could have argued, all of these are seeds of future blessings. You do not need to become a great person. You only need to be an ordinary person who lives with an extraordinary mind, a mind that is always awake and supple, that knows when to pause and when to step forward when conditions are ripe. Keep living kindly, not for praise and not to demand a return, but because living kindly is itself a part of happiness. You are sowing wholesome karma every second. In this life or the next, blessings will come. You need not wish for them or wait for them. They will come like flowers blooming in season, like peace blossoming in the heart of one who knows how to dwell in the present. Homage to the Bodhisattva of supreme advancement, Mahasattva. Have you ever wondered why, among countless people, some pass through storms in peace, while others struggle endlessly in waves that never subside? Why some seem to move through life lightly and happily while you carry burdens of toil, loneliness, and ceaseless hardship? Why some appear to be sheltered by divine protection, with everything flowing like an ever-fresh spring, while you stumble at unexpected crossroads without a single hand to pull you up? Is this fate, already fixed, or beneath those rising and falling heartbeats, are there seeds of cause and effect quietly sprouting in every life? The path of cause and effect is a quiet yet wondrous music. In the Buddha's vision, every action and every thought leaves a trace that never disappears. It is an invisible current that links this life to the next, that echoes from former lives into the present, and then flows onward into the future. Some say blessings are luck, but those who understand deeply know they are the fragrance of a garden of mind that has been watered by many wholesome efforts, moments of wakefulness, tears of repentance, and small joys found in helping those in distress. How many times have you sighed and looked up at the wide sky, hoping for a miracle, wishing for a new beginning, or simply longing for a single moment of true peace in a turbulent life? Perhaps you once thought happiness was a privilege, reserved for others, and that you were born only to repay karma, to endure, to give up. Yet know this: beneath all unfairness, smiles and tears, there is a secret current few can see. It is cause and effect, it is blessing, it is the invisible imprint woven by your own hands and by the hands of your many past lives. Thus the ancients said, 100 rivers return to the great sea, and countless roads return to their source. A human life is an unending journey of transformation. And the wonder is this: no matter how many times you have stumbled, or how much darkness you have passed through the moment, you recognize the path of cause and effect, and begin to sow wholesome seeds. Everything can change right now. Blessing is not a gift that falls from the sky, nor a vague miracle. Blessing is the marvelous result of what you have been planting each day in thought, in speech, and in the smallest actions. Listen quietly to your own story. Sit down, close your eyes, and ask yourself, in the midst of many storms, have there been times when I felt peace for no clear reason? At the most desperate moments, did an unexpected hand appear to lift me from the edge? In my life, has a passer's stranger ever smiled in a way that brought hope when every other door was closed? And the more I live kindly and keep my heart clear, does life become gentler and things unfold more smoothly in a strangely natural way? These are the first signs that blessings are supporting you, and that good cause and effect are silently protecting you. But how can you recognize them clearly? How can you keep your faith steady on the path of wholesome practice? How can you also widen these blessings for yourself, your family, and those you love? This Dharma talk is a bridge and a cool stream, leading you back within yourself. It helps you recognize 5 wondrous signs of blessing and opens the door to awakening and deep healing. Not only through theory, but through true stories and experiences steeped in tears and smiles. You will understand that a blessed person is not perfect, but one who transforms hurt into love, turns mistakes into the light of awareness, and lives gently in the world, while standing as steady as a mountain in the midst of storms. Step onto this journey with me. Do not close your heart too quickly. Do not be shy because your past is unfinished. Blessings are always present in every breath, every mindful moment, and every smallest good deed you quietly plant. Then one day, when you look back across the vastness of life, you will smile in peace and gratitude, for you have walked the right path and sown wholesome seeds in the soil of your heart. Perhaps after listening, you will realize you have long carried signs of blessing without noticing. Perhaps you will begin a new journey, quietly cultivating merit for the future, so that not only you but also those around you may be peaceful, happy and steady in this stormy world. Now listen with your whole heart, open your soul, and let the 5 wondrous signs of wholesome cause and effect touch you. Awaken the flame of blessing that has been quietly glowing within, and let it shine on without end across the vast human world. Sign 1. The mind remains peaceful even amid storms. Imagine standing in a boundless field. As the sky breaks into a tempest, leaves rustle, dark clouds gather, and wind lashes your face. Some people panic and run for shelter. Some tremble in fear, unsure where to go. Yet some stand there serene like an ancient pine. Their eyes calmly watch the storm pass, their heart unruffled. A peaceful mind is the lighthouse on the ocean of life. Why can some keep a calm heart in the hardest trials? Because the seed of mindfulness has sprouted in them. They understand that everything is impermanent. Joy and sorrow come and go. Gain and loss are only gusts passing over the roof of the soul. This is the fruit of many months and years of contemplation, of looking deeply into themselves, of putting down what does not belong to them, of forgiving others, of releasing resentment, and of living with gratitude. If you wish to cultivate a peaceful heart, each day begin with small practices. Sit quietly for 5 minutes in the morning, close your eyes, take 3 deep breaths, and feel the breath. When the mind is agitated, place a hand on your chest and silently recite the Buddha's name so the inner waves can settle. Practice smiling at adversity, speaking words of love instead of blame, and receiving everything with gratitude, whether trial or gift. Sign 2 help always arrives and unexpected solutions open. In life, everyone has faced dead ends that seem to have no way out: a sudden illness, a failure at work, a family crisis. In such moments, some sink into despair, yet others strangely meet a helper at exactly the right time. Is this random or mere coincidence? Those who understand cause and effect see that nothing is accidental. Each unexpected help is the sweet fruit of wholesome seeds we have sown in the past. There are people who help you without your knowing it. There are doors that open when hope seems gone. These are signs of blessings from former lives and the invisible protection of Buddhas, bodhisattvas, and guardian deities. To keep that current of good fortune flowing, continue to plant wholesome conditions. Do not hesitate to help when you can. Do not withhold a word of encouragement. Do not delay when you see someone suffering. Perhaps today you help a stranger, and tomorrow you or your loved one receives an unexpected grace from the universe. Sign 3 compassion and kindness naturally unfold. Not everyone finds it easy to do good. Some act to win, praise some, to seek merit, some out of duty. For those with good cause and effect, kindness flows like a natural spring that needs no reminder. They are easily moved by others' pain, quick to forgive, generous in tolerance, and able to empathize even with those who once hurt them. If you want to nurture compassion, practice the smallest things. Each day, offer a word of encouragement to someone who is sad. Forgive someone even if they do not apologize. Pay attention to the people around you and be ready to help without expecting return. Learn to listen without judgment, to empathize rather than criticize, to love rather than compete. When kindness becomes your nature, blessings will find you and matters will naturally flow. To uphold and increase these wondrous signs, begin with simple daily acts. Recite the Buddha's name each day. Give yourself a few quiet minutes and gently strike the inner bell of your heart, listening as the recitation rises from deep within. It may be Namo Amitabha Buddha, Namo Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva, or any sacred name you feel close to. Each recitation is a lotus blooming in the heart, dissolving anger, growing wisdom, and forming an invisible armor that protects the soul amid life's storms. Do small good deeds every day. Great blessings do not come from grand gestures, but from small acts that accumulate like a mountain. Help an elder cross the street. Pick up litter outside your gate. Comfort someone in sorrow. Support the vulnerable. Do not wait to have money to create merit, because a smile, a sympathetic glance, and a timely handclasp are also wholesome seeds. Practice meditation and quieting the mind. Spend a few minutes each day, simply sitting, following the breath in and out, looking deeply into the stream of your mind. When afflictions arise, see them like clouds drifting across the sky, neither hating nor clinging, simply recognizing and releasing. Over time, your heart will become steady and clear. Dear friend, life is impermanent, like a river forever flowing. At times it is placid, at times it surges. Some days are rich with silt, some days run dry. Each of us will meet loneliness, illness, and loss, as well as days of joy and nights of restless thought. Yet within these changes, the signs of wholesome cause and effect are lamps that light each step home to return to a way to regain balance and preserve peace in a changing world. You may think blessings are distant, reserved for exceptional people, great practitioners, or those who accomplish grand feats. Not so. Sometimes blessing is simply the warm smile you give a stranger on a chilly morning, the tear of sympathy you shed for someone in hardship, the quiet prayer you send to all who still suffer. Every wholesome action, every pure thought, every time you release an affliction and return to peace, is a seed planted in the soil of conditions. Then one day, when you need it, that blessing will bloom into a wondrous flower that lifts you from life's abyss. When you recognize that your heart is calm, that good people support you, that compassion is growing, that your relationships are full of good conditions, and that you know how to live in harmony with nature, then you will know the divine has never left you. The sacred is present like a cool breeze through the window of the soul, like moonlight in the night, like gentle hands holding your heart in its weakest hours. Remember, blessings are not for display and not a talisman that lulls us into arrogance or dependence. The greater the blessing, the deeper the humility and the more grateful the heart. Live like a diligent gardener, quietly planting goodness each day without demanding immediate results, trusting that heaven and earth record every wholesome seed and will grant sweet fruit in its season. Perhaps you have heard the story of the woodcutter deep in the forest who spent his life gathering firewood and sharing it with travelers. At the end of his life, he was neither rich nor noble, yet on the day he died, those he had helped gathered around his simple home and lit sticks of incense in gratitude. He passed away gently, leaving a good name and many beautiful prayers. That is blessing, not gold or status, but love. A beautiful imprint in the hearts of many, a quiet light that stretches on through future generations. Believe that whatever your situation today, every remaining moment is a new chance to cultivate, to correct yourself, and to listen more deeply to the echo of your heart. Be patient with yourself, gentle with others, and steadfast in the face of trials. When you can do that, even suffering becomes a healing medicine that makes you stronger, more peaceful, and ever closer to the light of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Live your life like a river that never stops flowing toward the ocean of compassion. Do not hold on to resentment or gather the silt of greed and anger. Let each day be a new page written in the script of gratitude, of goodness, and of the will to rise from the most ordinary challenges. If ever you feel faint of heart and your faith wavers amid the storm, remember that behind those dark clouds, the sun has never gone out. Blessings like that sunlight are always ready to shine, as long as you have the patience to guard the good values within. I send you this wish. As you walk through this vast world, may you keep a warm heart, eyes that see with compassion, hands that heed the call of awakening, and feet that know to stop before anything unwholesome. Let blessing be not only a flame that warms yourself, but a light that spreads and illuminates the shadows around you. Then one day when you look back, you will see that this journey has been truly worthy, beautiful, and meaningful. May everyone have the good conditions to recognize the wondrous signs of wholesome cause and effect, to live fully with the blessings protected by the divine, and to walk serenely through life's many changes, like a lotus rising from mud, yet remaining fragrant beneath the open sky. Namo Amitabha Buddha, Namo Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva of great compassion. I dedicate this merit to all beings. May your heart remain open, and may true happiness stay forever in each ordinary moment. We are not born into a vacuum. Every person who steps into this life carries not only a body, a name, and social circumstances, but also a treasury of karmic force, accumulated over many lives, both one's own and that of the lineage of which one is an extending part. Some children are sickly from birth. Some families for generations circle in poverty, anxiety, accidents, and failure. Some lineages seem seldom at peace with unfilial children, disharmonious elders, and resentments that drag on. People often attribute this to fate or fortune, but the Buddha's teaching points out that everything originates in karma, not only individual karma, but also collective karma. Among these family karma, more precisely the karma of the bloodline, is a special form of collective karma. It consists of karmic seeds sown by forebears over many generations. If not transformed, it continues to operate along its old course, passing from one generation to the next, in a way invisible yet very real. Family karma is not simply a superstitious curse, as people sometimes say. It is a set of habits, mistaken beliefs, unwholesome actions, enmity toward living beings, and a lack of cultivation and dedication of merit across generations. Repeated again and again, these become a common karmic current that affects to a greater or lesser degree each member of the lineage. For example, If many generations back there were butchers, hunters, or those who raised and slaughtered animals, and no one practiced, repented, or dedicated merit, then the energetic field of that killing karma will persist, smoldering, clinging to the descendants. Later generations may not kill for a living yet. Its consequences may appear as illness, short lifespan, hot temper, or difficulty bearing children. Children may be born, yet there is constant conflict and separation. There are also lineages, with traditions of wrongdoing and sowing enmity, such as deceitful trade, fraud, land grabbing, or having performed rituals to bind or curse others and sworn oaths in anger. If there is no one sufficiently awake to return to repentance and dedication, such karma is like an unlocked door through which heavy consequences pour down upon later generations. You may see families where the parents live kindly, yet the children go astray, or calamities strike again and again. This is not because the parents are weak, but because an old stream of karma continues to operate in silence. A heavy boulder, if no one lifts it, keeps pressing down. A rushing torrent, if no one checks, it sweeps everything away. Buddhism never stops at pessimism. The Buddha taught that karma is not fixed. What is created can be transformed. Every wholesome act, every confession of wrongdoing, every period of practice dedicated to the ancestors is like cool water poured onto a burning stream of karma. If even one person in the lineage has sufficient heart, sufficient vow, and sufficient perseverance in practice, that karmic current will begin to change course. Among the many in a family, the mother is often the one most able to lead the way of transformation, not because she is better, but because she is closest to every breath of the household. A mother naturally holds love, deep intuition, and the capacity for patience and sacrifice. When a mother sets her heart on practice not only for herself, but also dedicating merit to departed parents, ancestors of many generations, and the spirits bound to the lineage through karmic debts, the transformation will gradually spread quietly yet very truly. Like a good seed sown in fallow ground, at first no one believes. But if the seed has enough light of faith, enough water of compassion, and enough fertilizer of perseverance, one day the whole field will blossom. A practicing mother is the one who plants the first seed without coercion and without prompting. If you are a child, a grandchild, a wife, or a sister, and you begin to set your heart on practice, you become a new wind blowing into an old karmic stream, opening the possibility of renewal for the bloodline across many generations. Someone once asked, "I am a small person, amid countless generations of ancestors, and a lineage heavy with grievance. Can I do anything to transform the karma of my whole family?" The answer is yes, and the transformation begins with you. In the Buddha's teaching, all operations of the universe unfold under the law of causes, conditions, and results. Karma is invisible, yet it is not vague. Karma is continuity, and it can be transformed when three factors are present: a sincere heart practice, in accordance with the Dharma, and dedication of merit in the right way. When a person gives rise to the aspiration to practice lives, mindfully performs wholesome deeds, and especially knows how to dedicate merit continuously and wholeheartedly, that wholesome energy begins to spread outward, penetrating and washing away the old karmic layers that have been covering the entire lineage. Why can one practitioner benefit an entire family line? The answer lies in the depth of blood ties. In the law of cause and effect, those born into the same family are not there by chance. They share deep affinities and bonds stretching across many lives. When one person in the family practices, the merit generated by that person can influence, permeate, and gradually lighten the collective karmic obstacles created in the past. It is like a forest that has burned. If even one tree remains green, and standing that tree becomes a place where energy gathers, draws water, and calls new life to sprout. A mother who vows to practice is that green tree amid a forest scorched by karmic fire, the starting point of spiritual renewal within the bloodline. The power of dedication of merit in the Buddha's teaching is profound. Dedication is not the division of merit, as if dividing money. Dedication is the redirecting of the wholesome energy you have created toward a higher and broader aim, like using the light of one candle to kindle many others without diminishing the first flame. If each day a mother recites the Buddha's name, chants sutras, and repents, and then sincerely dedicates the merit to the 9 generations of ancestors, to karmic creditors and adversaries, to her husband and children, and to the unsettled spirits within the family, she is sending light to places still sunk in darkness. Although invisible to the eye, that light can soften and transform, disperse miasma, lighten karmic burdens, and soothe spirits that are hungry and lost in the unseen realm. Whether it is ancestors of long ago who have passed away, or descendants now living who have lost their way, the energy of sincere heart, when dedicated according to the Dharma, can find them, touch them, and gradually awaken the seeds of meditation within them. A practicing mother who vows each day to cultivate not for herself alone, but to transform the grievances in the bloodline, saying, "May what I do today become a light to guide both the departed and the living among my kin," is walking the bodhisattva path in everyday life. There is no need to wear monastic robes, no need to move into a monastery, no need for titles. With perseverance, honesty, humility, no craving for fame, and a readiness to live purely in the smallest acts, a mother bears karma with love and transforms karma through vow and practice. Transformation is not quick, but transforming family karma is like a great boulder rolling down a mountain. It cannot be stopped by a single plea. If one mother plants her foot on the slope and resolves not to let that boulder sweep more people away, then her strength, perseverance, and sincerity will slow the boulder day by day until it finally halts and crumbles. Remember, a single heartfelt recitation of the Buddha's name can console a wandering spirit. A confession born from the deepest place in the heart can soften an ancient vow of hatred made by the ancestors. A lamp lit for the departed on each full moon can illuminate a dark alley in the stream of karma. A mother who dares to practice, to endure, and to love unconditionally can change the destiny of the very blood she carries. Do not fear being alone. Do not fear not doing enough. When even one person truly sets their heart and walks firmly, the great river of karmic force, no matter how deep and turbulent, begins to flow in a new direction. Some stories seem unbelievable, yet when told by those who have lived them with eyes washed by tears and hearts that have passed through hell, we understand that karmic force is real and that miracles are real. In the Buddha's teaching, karma is not only a future retribution. Karma is a stream of energy that continues flowing through body, speech, and mind. If not transformed, it passes from life to life, like an underground river, seeping into the bloodline, lodging in the lineage, and manifesting as unstable life patterns we mistake for nature, fate, or family character. How then can we recognize the signs that family karma is at work? 1. Unusual patterns repeating across generations. If many in your lineage suffer the same kind of accident, face crises at a particular age, experience broken marriages, wayward children, similar illnesses, this is not simple coincidence. There are families in which the men all die before 60 women, often have difficult pregnancies or repeated miscarriages. Children study but do not succeed. Businesses fail, debts accumulate, and the whole lineage seems to struggle. Some are gifted, yet no one can rise. These hidden rules are signs of family karma, exerting influence like an invisible pull that draws everyone born into that bloodline in the same direction, unless someone awakens and stops it. 2. Psychological and behavioral patterns. Some families share extreme temper traits, hot-headedness, stubbornness, harshness, or tendencies toward addictions such as alcohol, gambling, and drugs, as well as violence, depression, suicide, social withdrawal, unstable relationships, constant romantic misfortune. These are not merely genetic inheritance. They are karmic energy transmitted as deep psychological habits, embedded in the unconscious, hard to detect without practice and reflection. 3. Uncanny occurrences at home. Family karma shows not only in material conditions but also through unusual spiritual phenomena. Some people often dream of ancestors delivering messages. Some are weak without diagnosable illness. Homes may experience odd events, altars, toppling houseplants, dying all at once, incense failing to burn, mirrors, cracking, strange birds flying into the house at midnight. Families may suffer repeated misfortune on death, anniversaries, full moons, or the first day of the lunar month. If such events come with heavy atmospheres, depressed moods, and a persistent lack of peace in the household, it may indicate unresolved ancestral karma or debts to adversaries linked to the lineage seeking resolution. 4. A sense of blockage despite great effort. One of the clearest signs of family karma is the feeling that whatever you do is being held back. In business, you meet betrayal. In love, you part, health seems strong, then suddenly fails, talent exists, but the timing never comes. Good fortune seems to reach the doorstep, but never enter. Those living under the weight of family karma often feel, I do not understand why I have tried everything and still cannot improve. This is the moment to look not only at the present but also at the roots of your bloodline. What should you do when you realize your family karma is showing itself? Stop. Do not rush to blame others or the world. Sit down, look deeply into your own bloodline, light a stick of incense. Call the names of those who have passed with utmost humility and gratitude, and vow to practice for the ancestors. Whether it is reciting the Buddha's name, chanting sutras, repenting, or keeping a vegetarian diet, any wholesome practice can lay the foundation for resolving family karma. What matters is regularity, sincerity, clear dedication of merit, and not seeking benefit for yourself alone. Become the one who turns the wheel. If you can see it, then you are the one with the affinity to be chosen. Do not avoid it. Even if you are not skillful yet not well versed in Dharma, not strong of heart, a steadfast vow is enough to give you the strength to dissolve a large share of the karmic obstacles your forebears did not have time to repay. A mother who vows to practice for her lineage is doing the work of 1,000 unsettled spirits. A single proper recitation of the Buddha's name, a repentance full of tears, a session of chanting the Ksitigarbha Sutra with a heart of filial respect. These are not the acts of a lone individual. They are the opening of a path for the very blood you carry that flows and lives within you. Transforming family karma does not require elaborate rites or lofty spiritual powers. What is most needed is the sincerity that rises from the heart of a mother or a child. Someone in the bloodline who feels the pain of the ancestors, loves the descendants, and dares to enter the journey of transformation through their own life. The Dharma is never far away. A mother in the countryside, a grandmother in a village, a woman toiling in the marketplace. If she has a place to sit quietly, a deep vow, and a little time each day to practice, she can become the one who bears karma, transforms karma, and dedicates merit for many generations. Below are simple yet profound practices you can do at home. No special conditions are required, only perseverance and a sincere heart. 1. Chant the Ksitigarbha Sutra to send light to the unseen realm. The Ksitigarbha practice is especially suited for dedicating merit to the departed and for dissolving enmity and family karma, particularly karma from killing karmic creditors and spiritual vows made in anger. It is the first choice for those who wish to transform ancestral karma. You may chant a short section such as Chapter 7, The Benefits of Hearing the Name of Ksitigarbha, or Chapter 12, Observing the Karmic Conditions of Beings, or more simply recite Namo Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva 108 times each day. After each session, remember to dedicate the merit clearly with sincere words such as I dedicate this merit to the 9 generations of ancestors, to parents of many lives, and to all spirits within my family line. If there are grievances yet unresolved, may they be reborn in wholesome realms. If heavy karma remains unpaid, may it gradually be lightened in accordance with this wholesome vow. 2. Recite the Buddha's name to create a steady propulsion for deliverance. The name of Amitabha Buddha has great power to transform and ferry beings, especially when recited with sincerity. Recite daily, even if only 500 times. If the mind abides, the words are clear, and the recitation is filled with gratitude and wholeheartedness, the sound is like a boat carrying your ancestral spirits to the shore of awakening. Recitation also transforms the atmosphere in the home, easing anger, vexation, and anxiety. When a mother recites steadily, that energy fills the household, soothing wandering spirits and cooling the hearts of the living. You may count on beads or sit quietly and combine the recitation with the breath. Each recitation opens a door toward goodness for the entire lineage. 3. Light, a lamp to dispel karmic darkness. Each night after chanting or reciting, light a small lamp before an image of the Buddha or the ancestral altar and vow silently, "May this light drive away the darkness in the karma of my family line. May lost resentful suffering spirits soon see the light of the Dharma and be liberated." Lighting a lamp symbolizes right view, wakefulness, and sincerity. Even a single candle or oil lamp can illuminate centuries of karmic shadow when it is lit with compassion. 4. Keep vegetarian practice and dedicate blessings with body, speech, and mind. One of the heaviest karmas in a lineage is killing. Though no one today may be a butcher, in former generations the ancestors may have killed for offerings, rituals, or sacrifice. The most effective way to resolve this is to eat vegetarian and to release living beings. Vegetarian practice not only benefits health, it is living repentance. Each day you refrain from taking life, you are silently telling cause and effect, "I will not continue the old path." If you cannot keep a full-time vegetarian diet, begin with the 1st and 15th days of the lunar month on ancestor memorial days, or choose a fixed day each week together with a vow. "May the merit of this pure meal be dedicated to my Tan, ancestors and forebears. May the enmities born of killing in my lineage soon be dissolved." 5. Repent to untie invisible knots. You need not remember all the faults of your ancestors. You can repent on their behalf with the heart of a grateful descendant. Each evening after your practice, kneel or join your palms and recite a short repentance, such as, "On behalf of all my ancestors, grandparents, and parents of many lives, I sincerely repent of unwholesome deeds ever committed. If out of ignorance, anger, or greed suffering was caused to others or to living beings, I now repent on their behalf. May the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas bear witness to my sincerity today." Repentance is the tear that washes the bloodline. A single heartfelt confession can soften a hardened karma laid down 1,000 years ago. 6. Write names for dedication to send focused energy. Write a list of ancestors, the departed, and those to whom you wish to dedicate merit. Record names if you know them, or simply write parents of many lives, the 9 generations of ancestors, karmic creditors within the family line. Whenever you chant or recite, place your hand on this list and vow to dedicate all merit from today to the spirits named here. If they are still wandering, may they be reborn in wholesome realms. If they are suffering, may they find peace. Writing focuses the energy so the merit does not disperse into empty space. It is a targeted and very effective form of dedication. Do you see? Transforming family karma is not the business of deities or shamans. It is a very human, very quiet journey, undertaken by someone who feels the common pain and dares to stand up not for themselves alone, but for the whole stream of blood that flows. The mother is the one who does this work without display and without recognition. Yet 10,000 spirits in the lineage may smile. From the light of that quiet heart arises a strength that surpasses spoken vows, the strength of vows lived out. Some mothers do not know. Many scriptures have no Dharma name and have never stepped into a monastery yet. They are the spiritual pillars of the entire bloodline, quietly preserving the way, an invisible bridge joining past and future. They do not sit upon a Dharma throne, yet every word with which they teach a child is a Dharma talk. They do not go on alms rounds, yet every meal they cook is an act of giving. They do not set up grand chanting assemblies, yet each small recitation of the Buddha's name echoes across the 3 times. And when they make the vow, "I vow to live a life that is simple yet pure," not for fame, not from fear, but solely to cool the stream of karma, smoldering in this bloodline. Then heaven and earth themselves are set in motion, and the ancestors. Listen, a mother needs no miracles, only the resolve not to give up. In the hardest days, when a child is ill, when a marriage is cracking, when money runs short, many people seek wondrous methods, talismans, fortunes and omens. But there is a mother who chooses to kneel, not to ask, but to repent on behalf of the ancestors, to pray for the departed, to be guided on, to dedicate merit to spirits she has never met. Each day she repeats a single vow. If I have enough merit in this life, may I be allowed to become the one who transforms the karma of my entire lineage. Though hardships come and obstacles rise, I vow not to retreat, needing no praise, no recognition, no immediate reward, only that I do not give up. And time answers with changes small yet deep. A child grows less hot-tempered, learns respect and deference. Gossip in the household subsides. The air at home grows lighter. The child, who seemed to have no affinity for study, passes an exam. The husband, once indifferent, now sits before the ancestral altar lighting incense for his late parents. No one knows why. But the mother knows she has kindled an unfading flame from faith, sincerity, and filial devotion. The lineage is no longer a burden, but a mission. In time, the practicing mother no longer looks at the past with fear, but with compassionate understanding. The family's dark karma is no longer a source of shame. It becomes an opportunity to love, to practice, to resolve. Such a mother does not speak of ancestors with resentment, but in a gentle voice. Perhaps our forebears once erred, but we are here to set things right. Perhaps in former lives we sowed suffering, but in this life we vow to live truly well. Perhaps our ancestors sowed enmity, but we are the ones chosen to untie each knot. From fearing karma, the mother moves to caring for karma. From caring, she moves to dissolving it through daily living. With such a mother, a lineage is as if born anew. When a mother sets her heart on practice, the entire atmosphere of the home changes. The house need not be luxurious, yet to enter it is to feel peace. The meals need not be lavish, yet whoever eats feels warmth. The children grow up, and even if they do not yet practice, a wholesome seed has already been planted in their hearts. The husband, though once hard and unyielding, softens when he sees her quiet daily cultivation. And the departed, the wandering spirits, the karmic adversaries not yet released, the hurts that never had a name, gradually they are brought to the farther shore of awakening through every verse, chanted every recitation of the Buddha's name, every bell in the hush of dawn and dusk. One mother, one great vow, one lineage reborn. This Dharma talk is not a final teaching. Transforming karma has never been a destination, but a continuous flow. The mother practices today. Tomorrow the children continue. The mother cultivates today. In lives to come, those who share the bloodline will reap sweet fruit. If you are a mother, a child, or a grandchild, in a lineage beset by hardship, do not despair. It is enough to make this vow. I vow not to let this karmic current continue for one more generation. I vow to become the first small light in the long darkness of this bloodline. Such a vow will be recorded by the Buddhas of the 10 directions, and the ancestors will silently nod in the unseen. For a mother's sincere heart is stronger than 100 ceremonies performed without sincerity.